Hello and welcome, my friends. Time for yet another story that will give you goosebumps, hopefully. This one you will surely enjoy. It is definitely one of my greatest favorites that I keep reliving from time to time. For tonight, I'm going to tell you a story that was recounted to me by a friend. This happened about a couple of years ago. One late summer night, we had been together at a party that had taken place at a secluded rural holiday cottage, far away from town lights and populated areas. I had promised to give my friend a lift home after the party, and there were 3 of us in my car, heading out for the lengthy drive. The night had already fallen, and it was dark, misty, and a little bit chilly when we were driving along lonely, winding country roads, where at this early hour it was rare to come across another car, and even more unlikely to catch a passerby moving on foot. This gloomy atmosphere set the perfect setting for sharing the deeper kind of thoughts. And soon we were discussing the unexplainable events that we had encountered during our lives, but could not really explain. My personal tales are fodder for another story, but my friend's story was such that every one of us fell silent in the car for a good while. My friend, we shall call her Laura in this story, lives on an old farm together with her spouse Jan, and their house has a stable for horses and other farm animals, quite in the middle of nowhere. The farm is the family homestead of Jan, and it has served as a home and hearth for some centuries of his ancestors. The couple actually live in a newly built main building, but there are also some other farm buildings along the edges of the farmyard. There's a gravel road that passes through their lot, and on the other side of the road, in fact, rimming the farm road in a close shave, there is the old main building that once used to be the home of Jan's great-grandfather. Laura told us that a couple of years ago, one of their cats had a litter of kittens. But at first it had been unknown to them where she had gone to give birth to them. As farm cats usually do, this mother cat led a fairly free life, and she could come and go as she pleased. Laura had seen the cat stealing out on the farmyard with prey in her mouth, clearly taking it to her young'uns somewhere, but still it took her a while to find out where her big secret was located. The mother cat had found her way into the old main building and had given birth there, in solitude. When Laura finally found out where the mother cat was hoarding her booty, that evening she entered the old building to investigate. The sun was about to set, and it painted the windows with a coral red hue. After rummaging through nooks and corners in the ground floor rooms, Laura finally found the tiny kittens, nested under a rusty cupboard on the back side of stairs leading up to the floor above. The mother cat was nowhere to be seen at that very moment, so Laura knelt down in the musty darkness of the nook under the stairs and began to reach under the cupboard to pick the kittens up in her lap. She had scooped up 2 of the kittens and was in the process of stretching out her hand to grab a 3rd one that was trying to elude her touch, when suddenly there was an older man's loud voice coming from upstairs, asking, "Who's that down there?" Laura froze and felt her extremities become numb with fear. She knew there was no way there could be someone in the top floor of the building. She could hardly breathe, nor did she dare to even budge for a couple of minutes after that voice had rung out. She was holding her breath, straining her ears to hear if there was any kind of movement or any voice at all in the upstairs rooms. When she could hear nothing more, she jumped up as fast as she could, with the kitten still huddled in her lap, and sprinted out of the building. In the car, Laura fell really silent for a while after finishing her story, just as if she was trying to search her inner feelings to brace herself. After a moment's silence in the car, she started to ponder on her experience and tried to put her rambling thoughts into words. She wondered if there was some way that a sound from many decades ago could manifest itself and build itself up once more to some weird echo in the present time. She explained how the building had been searched and found empty right after this incident, and that the couple had taken extensive care to ensure that there were no unwelcome visitors on their property. There is no possibility that anyone would have been inside the building during that occurrence. Laura's spouse is a man of few words. However, faced with this story, he had offered one steady explanation. That was Great-Grandpa. The ride to Laura's home continued with more cheery but maybe a little forced discussion. Everyone's thoughts were rolling like tumbleweeds around the story we had just heard. When I dropped Laura off at her driveway, there it was, the old main building. A traditional house with red-hued building timber, with its high facade towering next to the siding road. When I swerved my car around to start my homebound journey, I watched my headlights flicker on the old, uneven panes of window glass that seemed to be slick black as oil in the dark of the night. This was tonight's story. Hope you had a pleasant experience listening to the tale, and I will be keeping up my work and posting more intriguing stories. And even though you might not be a believer in the supernatural, I am a firm believer in the fact that these wonderful specimens of folklore deserve to be spared for the future generations to come. And if you have a scary story that you would like to share and wish to get it out to the world, please go ahead and send me the story. Finnish, English, Swedish, French, Spanish, all of these languages will do. Let's keep the stories flowing. As for now, I wish you all good night and sweet dreams. Mwah!